If you're playing Diablo 4 and wondering why you should pick Barbarian, it's simple. Barbarian is for people who don't do things halfway. Other classes are subtle about it. Rogues like, let me just slide in quietly. Sorcerer is standing back like, I prefer a little distance. But Barbarian walks in, cracks his neck, and goes, nah, I'm bringing the big one out. No finesse. If no hesitation, just full commitment. You're spinning, smashing, and overwhelming everything in front of you. It's loud, messy, and honestly, a bit excessive. And yeah, every now and then you pause mid-fight like, hold up, gotta wipe off this massive sword before we continue, because things get intense, fast. Then you stroll back into town carrying the biggest sword anyone's ever seen. A rogue looks at it and goes, bit excessive, don't you think? You grin and say, when you've got something this big, you don't hide it, you make an entrance. The rogue smirks. Does it actually help in a fight? You spin it once, knock over a barrel, a signpost, and somehow a guy just walking past. Sometimes, you say, then lean in like it's a secret. But honestly, half the battle is just making sure everyone notices it. And that is exactly why you should whip it out and play Barbarian. Why pick the Barbarian? Because sometimes you don't want strategy. You don't want finesse. You don't want to think. You want to kick a door in, scream at a demon, and swing something outrageously oversized until the problem and half the map stops existing. The Barbarian is for people who see a carefully designed build guide and go, nah, I'm just going to hit it harder. Other classes are out here, calculating cooldowns, managing resources, doing elegant little flips. Meanwhile, you're in the corner like, what if I just hit it again? And it works. You carry enough weapons to open a small, extremely aggressive shop. You don't switch tactics, you switch entire chunks of metal mid-fight like you're showing off. The rogue's dancing around like it's a performance. You're the reason the floor needs replacing. Subtlety? Never heard of her. Precision? Sounds like a skill issue. Personal space? Not anymore. Every fight feels like overkill, and that's the point. You're not here to win clean. You're here to win loud, messy, and slightly concerning to watch. And let's be honest, there's something deeply satisfying about solving every problem the same way. Grab the biggest thing you've got, swing it like you mean it, and refuse to elaborate. Pick Barbarian if you want. Zero dignity, maximum impact, and the confidence of someone who thinks more force is always the correct answer. Because in Sanctuary, therapy isn't an option, but violently bonking everything in sight absolutely is. Why you should play Sorcerer in Diablo 4? Because you looked at demons, fire, lightning, and ice and thought, yeah, I want to commit magical war crimes from a safe distance. Sorcerer players don't fight. They stand 40 feet away, dramatically waving their hands like they're auditioning for a very aggressive stage play, while everything on screen disintegrates. You don't whip out weapons, you manifest problems out of thin air. Enemies roll up ready for battle, and you're already like, open quote, hold this meteor real quick, close quote. Meanwhile, let's talk about the other classes. Barbarian, big muscles, small brain, still trying to solve every problem by headbutting it. Rogue, moving at 900 miles per hour like a nervous breakdown in leather. Necromancer, brought emotional baggage and skeletons, still somehow less stable than yous. And then there's you. Sorcerer, open quote, standing still like a menace, committing elemental crimes with zero accountability. Close hole vibe is, I will not be touched. If you get close, that's your mistake. Everything burns, including my mana bar. The damage? Disrespectful. Absolutely disrespectful. You're not just killing enemies, you're deleting their entire bloodline with one overly dramatic spell animation. Fire, lightning, ice. You've got all three like some unhinged wizard who refused to specialize out of pure ego. Defense? Hilarious. You're either completely untouchable or instantly turned into a cautionary tale. There is no in between. 1 second, you're a god. Next second, you're a stain on the dungeon floor because you blinked wrong. And mana management? Oh yeah, you'll absolutely nuke the entire screen, then stand there awkwardly for 2 seconds, like, open quote, hold on, I need to spiritually recharge, close quote, aesthetic check. You look like you haven't touched reality in years, and honestly, you haven't. You've been too busy discovering new ways to turn oxygen into a weapon. Conclusion. Play Sorcerer if you want to feel Powerful, dramatic, and slightly unstable, like you're one bad cooldown away from either greatness or complete embarrassment. It's not controlled, it's not responsible, it's just raw, chaotic power with zero chill.